Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. So I didn't think I was going to be able to record my show this morning. I woke up and there was no power. So there must have been a zombie apocalypse last night while I was asleep after I got off shift. Usually after I slay a bunch of vampires and zombies every night, I come in through this window and I immediately flop on the bed. I clean up all the blood from all the slaying of the vampires and zombies that I have to do, and then I flop on the bed. And there must have been a power outage last night. I was running on a backup generator for a while. I had no reciprocal lights. I had no power to anything. So you're going to have to bear with me. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for all the love and support you have shown my Descendants and Zombies videos on this YouTube channel. It always blows my mind how you girls are always hitting the subscribe button for this YouTube channel. I want to say thank you so much because I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. And here's the thing. You know and I know that you could be subscribing to anybody else on YouTube for their crazy videos that are perhaps better than my videos. But I try my absolute best to create the best and most engaging videos that you will ever find that are dedicated and devoted to Descendants and Zombies, because I believe in my heart that you have deserved to hear a hell of a lot better than what you've been hearing for far long enough now. And I want you guys to know that I will always be here to give you just that. Because I know how it goes. You see all these videos on YouTube that make absolutely no sense whatsoever about Descendants and Zombies. People pretty much just make fun of it, make fun of the concept, make fun of the plots, make fun of how things are going, how people are responding to it, and that is not fair to you. It is beyond not fair to you to have to watch that on YouTube. So what I wanted to do when I moved into this house, just literally 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant, if you can believe that, how convenient. I wanted to create a show that would give you discussion about Descendants and Zombies and present it in a way that was far different from anything else that you have ever seen on YouTube. I can remember when YouTube was a website where you could only upload 10-minute videos per video that you would upload. So if your show was 50 minutes, if your podcast was 50 minutes, it had to be uploaded in 5 separate parts, which was very challenging. You would spend hours creating the video and hours uploading the video. It was only in the last few years that you could actually upload a podcast in its entirety. I remember years ago having to stream my voice with 2 separate programs. You had to use Winamp and Shoutcast together, and that was not fun. You could only hope that someone was going to hear your voice, the music you were streaming, the topics you were talking about, the niches you had fallen into. And I wish more than ever I could have fallen into this niche for Descendants and Zombies 15 years ago, because I would have 15 million subscribers perhaps on this YouTube channel. And if there ever would have been a holy shit moment, it would have been that. I have a lot of thank yous. I want to say thank you to Dove Cameron for having made me so famous on YouTube. I don't agree with how Ryan McCartan and Thomas Doherty treated her in their relationships in the past from at least 2013 to 2020. It was absolutely ridiculous, all the reviews I was reading of that relationship, all the emails I was receiving. People really wanted me to kick Ryan McCartan's ass. I don't agree with how girls such as Dove Cameron and Kylie Cantrell have been singled out for their relationships and how they felt about their partners, how they felt about the relationship itself because of how they were being treated. And then months later I go on Kylie Cantrell's TikTok account and I see Kylie Cantrell reduced to tears, crying with tears in her eyes because she's not a Trump supporter. Leave her alone. Come on, guys. Leave her alone. I will run for President of the United States if I have to, and I will send Kylie Cantrell the biggest bouquet of flowers just to apologize for how she's been treated on social media. Nobody should ever have to Google themselves and read these articles and see these videos consisting of people's opinions about them in such a dastardly way. It is absolutely terrible. All Kylie Cantrell ever wanted to do was sing, dance, and perform. She had the opportunity to do that. All she ever wanted to do was upload videos like her friends. And now at 19 years old, 20 years old, just turned 20 back in June. Happy belated birthday again to you, Kylie. I love you so much. She is sitting in front of a camera, sitting in front of her phone, crying because she's not a Donald Trump supporter. So what? So what? She's not a Donald Trump supporter. We all love her anyway. And I want Kylie Control to know that she shouldn't be afraid to Google herself because of what she's going to see. There are people who Photoshop images of her. There are people who upload videos with things obviously cut out and edited. I know this because I was a video editor for forever. For all of my life, I've edited videos. I have Photoshopped my favorite celebrities. I love to Photoshop girls like Ruby Rose Turner and Dove Cameron, but when I Photoshop them, when I create a thumbnail, I like to create thumbnails that jump out at you. So you will click this video, so you will watch the video, and you will have fun watching the video. I want all of you to know that I am just as big a fan and supporter of Descendants, the entire franchise, everybody who was ever a part of the cast, past or present, and I will never go away. I will always be here for the people who I know, love, and have cherished Descendants and Zombies for what feels like forever. And my ultimate goal with this YouTube channel has always been to create compelling videos and to put it out there so that the stars of Descendants and Zombies will have their legacies defined and solidified for forever, for the remainder of eternity. And if I can't do it, hopefully you guys will find another podcast out there that will be able to do that for each and every one of you. I have heard the most ridiculous reviews of Descendants and Zombies. I have seen everything from crazy cat earphone wearing crazy people, the crazy cat lady I call her, reviewing Descendants and Zombies. I have seen these guys shoving chili dogs in their faces reviewing Descendants and Zombies. Everything from a crazy cat lady to a chili dog eating freak reviewing Descendants and Zombies. And you guys don't deserve that. You deserve to see it for what it's worth. You deserve to hear it talked about for what it's worth. And I just wanted to give that to you guys. You're going to have to forgive me because I'm a real sweetheart. I like to touch people's hearts with the messages that I convey on these YouTube channels. Messages of positivity, messages of strength, messages of how any dream that you may ever have wanted to achieve in your life is very possible. Because it really is. I mean, every single night we look at the same constellation, and somewhere written within that constellation of stars are the words, I love you. It may be very hard for a lot of people to see. Probably some people can't make sense of it. But somewhere out there, there's a constellation, and in that constellation, the words, I love you, are written, and they are very clear. And I like to make them more clear than ever before. And that's what a lot of podcasts that theme around Descendants and Zombies can't do for you. I thought the franchise Descendants was a very powerful representation of just how every dream that you may have is quite possible. It is very possible. And I thought Ruby Rose Turner was the most gentle soul that had ever been a part of this franchise. I cry myself to sleep every single night knowing that she's not going to be a part of Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. I love the title, by the way. Very, very unpredictable title. Who knows where we're going to go from here. There was just something about Ruby's kindness that ultimately inspired me to become a better person, and I like to believe that I have become a better person because of Ruby. I call her Rube. That's a nickname that I've kind of put on Ruby. Everything about her voice was just so satisfying. The song Life is Sweeter When You Are sounds perfect on the Rise of Red soundtrack. That score wouldn't have probably been as perfect if not for that song. It was a very addictive song. I listen to it almost every morning on my Bluetooth headset, just as I do the entire soundtrack of Descendants. But that song in particular, Life is Sweeter When You Are, definitely is an exemplification of how you do get more with sugar than you do with salt, and how life is sweeter when you are, when you just make an effort to be sweeter, to spread that little bit of extra kindness. And that's really all it comes down to, is just how sweet and how kind all of us want to be. And I think if we made an effort to make more kindness be spread in this world, the world would ultimately be a better place, because I've often said that it's not the world, it is the people in the world that make the difference, make the significant impact, forever leave an imprint on all of our hearts. I can only wish that someone's going to leave a forever imprint on my heart like I've wished to leave on theirs. I say that because all of my lifetime I've been either slaying a vampire that was with a girl that I didn't like. I was with a girl who thought she was a vampire on times. There's this disease where people actually believe in their minds they're vampires. I don't know how I got caught up within it. And then I was with all these girls who were legitimately real, but they had these daughters that loved Descendants so much, and they wouldn't make an effort to even watch one movie of Descendants, one chapter of the franchise with them. So on nights when they would be busy, I would sit down with their daughter and I would watch this movie, and I remember being completely captivated by it, blown away by it, thinking to myself, how did I ever get caught up within situations that I spent the majority of my life being caught up within? And I have been caught up within some of the most far out there, some of the most ridiculous predicaments that I probably should have never been caught up within. But I do, one of the most enjoyable experiences of my life being in all the relationships that I was in with people that were actually normal. One thing that I will never ever forget was having the opportunity to sit down with their daughter and watch Descendants. Maybe not them, because they had different things they wanted to achieve out of life than ultimately I did. I would have spent my entire life watching Descendants with their daughter if I could have. And I wouldn't have taken a single moment of that back or have ever regretted it. And I want them to know that. I just love being a part of somebody's life who loved this franchise so much. I miss them dearly. And I want the very first person to know who ever wrapped their arms around my legs telling me that everything was going to be okay, dressed up as their favorite Descendants character every year on Halloween, that you are one of the biggest reasons why this show exists. And you are one of the biggest reasons why I fell into this niche and why I talk about you over and over again on this YouTube channel. I mean, the reality of this YouTube channel is some of the very first subscribers that I could have had could have quit on me, but some of the very first subscribers that I've had never did quit on me, and you're still here. I can't even believe or even put into words how I feel about you still being here. It is incredible that some of the first 5 subscribers that showed up here on this YouTube channel from day one are still here. I feel like crying every time I talk about it because it is truly unbelievable. It is quite a feeling to know that the very first subscribers that I've ever had on this YouTube channel are still here. And they still love it so much. Guys, I don't know what it is. Is it the voice? Is it the way that I tell the stories in relation to Descendants? How I've seen myself through the eyes of your favorite characters like Bridget, Chloe, Red, Mal, Evie, Carlos, Jay. I don't know. I just try to create a show that is very different and far different from anything else that you've ever seen on YouTube, because that's what a YouTube creator has to do, along with creating an understanding, let me say this, between himself, he or she self, and the audience and the niche that he's fallen into or trying to attract. Because there are a lot of people who can't attract niches, who can't fall into niches, and I like to believe I do that in a very effective way. I honestly believe that when you tell a story, the best way to do it is to talk. You don't really have to use a whole lot of props. No, I fill this room up with a lot of stuffies. There's everything here from Sonics to Dumbos to life-size Mickey Mouses, Minnie Mouses. I'm seriously thinking about putting a couple of $100 behind more stuffies this coming week. I'll let you know how that goes. But I want you guys to know that I never ever prepare anything on this YouTube channel. And what I mean by that is I don't prepare any written statements. I never think about what to say or how to say it. I just hit the record button on a USB professional microphone and I record everything that I want to say. And somehow or some way, every video that I create on this YouTube channel is fantastic. It blows my mind. I don't know if it was a gift from the angels of heaven. I don't know if it was a gift from God himself, but I'm able to sit here and I'm able to tell you how I really feel about Descendants and Zombies. Do I think Kylie Control deserves to be treated the way that she is? Oh, hell no. I don't think she deserves to be treated the way she is. Either professionally or personally, I think that she needs more creative freedom. I think she needs more of an opportunity to expand on her horizons and really figure herself out and figure out what she wants out of life. I think even her dad on times could be more supportive than what he is of her. And I say that because he's never really there to support her in the way that she probably wants to be supported. Yes, he's there, but he's only there because it seems like he wants to be there whenever he wants to be. I've always wanted these Descendant stars to know that they do an absolutely fabulous job with whatever they're trying to promote, whatever message they're trying to convey in their scripts, in the way the plots unfold, with their message of their photos they upload of their friendships, like Kylie and Ruby, which I really love, or Kylie and Amelia. But I mean, even people now are going as far as to create these very ridiculous sounding rumors about Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker's friendship, saying they're together, wondering if they're going to end up together in the Descendants franchise. I have never closed a book on anything happening in the Descendants franchise. And yes, I do think there's probably a chance we could see something happen romantically between them. I will say that because of just how how many different directions you can take this plot and how much of an opportunity there is to create off of this. Am I going to miss Ruby for forever? Sure. I'm going to miss Ruby for forever because Ruby touched my heart in a way that I don't think even Dove Cameron touched it. Yes, Dove Cameron touched my heart, and Dove Cameron will forever receive the credit she deserves for having made me famous, because I was just really an idiot who would sit in front of his podcast every morning with a cup of tea with this Mickey Mouse coffee cup. Please don't tell anybody that. And I would record my thoughts on whatever I felt I needed to talk about to get off my chest. I want people like Kylie Contrell and Dove Cameron to know that if not for them, I would not be here this morning. I would never be here. I would have never been brought back from out of obscurity if not for each and every one of you. It is not even 9:05 a.m. in the morning, and like I said here yesterday, I can't seem to not record a podcast until a little after 5 after 9 every morning. I'm literally not even awake. As you see there, I have not even finished my cup of tea. There's just something about having a cup of tea and sitting in front of your computer and talking about Descendants every morning. I hope I don't have a zombie virus. I've been wondering that for a couple of days. Ever since I was attacked by a vampire just last night, or a couple of nights ago rather, I felt like there's something really messed up. I had to go to the doctor. I got some blood work done. I said, Doc, I think there's vampire blood in my system. Can you check it out? Everything came back positive. Everything came back great. But I still feel really messed up. I'm going to have to go get that checked out. And then I had an excessive amount of fruit smoothies a couple of days ago because I see all you guys creating fruit smoothies on your YouTube channels, and I wanted to try it. So I think that blew up on me. And, I haven't been feeling the greatest. But and please don't ever get into vampire slaying. It is very challenging to do that. You can never be too sure who is a vampire or who is not. You really have to be able to decipher that. And when you get involved with a girl who's involved with a cult, then you start worrying about it. But that's a different story for a different time. I've been through a lot of really weird experiences in my life. But I've also had a lot of experiences in my life that I will never ever forget. And one of those experiences, the highlight of my life, has been able to sit. Hopefully that's not is that a convoy going down the road for a zombie invasion? Oh my God. One of the greatest experiences that I've ever had bestowed upon me, and one of the greatest honors, is to be able to sit in front of this podcast microphone every morning or every night and talk about Descendants and Zombies, because I love it so much. I think Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, if the Descendants fans will not kick my ass for talking about zombies as much as what I had been, was the best of the franchise. And a very talented cast. I think Malachi Burton and Freya Skye have wonderful futures ahead for them. I look forward to seeing how far they go from here. I think Freya Skye is incredibly beautiful. The duet between herself and Victor, Nova and Victor, in that movie was great. Love it so much. I don't know how you're going to be able to do zombies without Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim. Beautiful actress, beautiful actor, great chemistry, and that's something that Disney, does hundreds of auditions for to find the perfect amount of chemistry. I don't know if I will ever be a part of the Descendants franchise. I would love to be a part of the Descendants franchise. I would even love to be a part of the Zombies franchise even more, because I know there are just as many Zombies fans out there as there are Descendants. For some reason, you guys have made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, and I honestly am forever and eternally grateful for having that opportunity have bestowed upon me. I try to get these videos uploaded every day on time for you. They are recorded different times throughout the day. As I said, I don't promote these videos. I don't pre-write any statements. I don't use any AI. I grow this YouTube channel from my heart, which means it comes down to you to hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't noticed, I try to be the most deadly sweet guy that anyone has ever seen on YouTube talking about Descendants and Zombies. So I think that if there was a reward to be handed out for being as deadly sweet as what I am, and the consistent effort that I put behind this video, from the editing to how I want to go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, I like to believe that you girls in your hearts think that I will go down in history for having been one of the greatest of all time. Because what makes me the greatest of all time is not being able to create these videos because I want to create these videos for each and every one of you. What makes me the greatest of all time, and has made me the greatest of all time for the better part of the last 25 years, more especially this past year, is all of you. Because you see that sweetheart in me. You see that guy that wants to create these Descendants and Zombies videos for each and every one of you and actually talks to his audience on the video instead of just talking about Descendants and saying, this is what I liked about it, this is what I didn't like about it. There were more things about Descendants that I liked than I didn't like. What I didn't like about Descendants were things that I felt needed more emphasis on it, like the time that we saw the Bridget character involved in the Rise of Red franchise, for example. I wanted more creative freedom given to people like Ruby. I wanted more creative freedom given to people like Dove because they deserved it and they knew what they were talking about and they knew what they were doing. I have seen them receive their fair share of criticism, and if anything, people like Clarke have convinced me to run for president of the United States. And even if I have to, I will move this entire set into the White House, and I will use this YouTube channel to address the nation every night after 8 p.m. on YouTube because it has to be done. And any concerns that you may have, you can forward to me. The vampire slaying thing, I didn't choose that, and I didn't choose to end up in the situations that I ended up in relationships that I had been in ever since I was 15 years old. Vampire slaying has been something that I've done my whole life. My whole life, and I never ever thought, and the thing is, when I got into these relationships with these girls, I didn't know they were vampires. I didn't know they even thought they were vampires, and then I had to research what the disease was and how there was a mental issue. Oh my. But for some reason I always won in the end. And the fun thing was, when they had a boyfriend who thought they were a vampire, when I had the opportunity to slay them, that was really cool. Although I don't recommend that anybody get involved with that. And then I had this thing where I always followed Supernatural, so it fit perfectly when Descendants of Zombies started being promoted by Disney, because Disney was looking for a cast of vampire slayers, werewolves, aliens, and zombies. And then I just started putting it out there that I wanted to be a part of this cast because, I don't know, thought I could kick a whole lot of ass, and it looked kind of fun. I mean, that Tom Cruise life, that Tom Cruise opportunity, man, I would have took myself up on the opportunity to do that. If Disney ever calls me, they can call 555 Jonathan Clarke and I'll sign a contract. They can fax me a contract. I will sign it for all of you. Because there's the thing. I will sign my life away to the Disney company because I know how much it means to each and every one of you. I also know how much it means to me and how much of a forever imprint it has left on my heart. When I had nobody, I had the Descendants of Zombies fans, and they're my best friends. And I proudly say that. I will pontificate for the Descendants of Zombies universe for the rest of my life. I will die the biggest Descendants of Zombies supporter out there, the sweetest guy to ever do this. But what I want from you is I want you to hit the subscribe button because I can't do it without you. And that's something you're never going to hear from any other podcaster out there. I mean, sure, I know I talk about slaying vampires, which is a real-life job that I've had. I know I talk about being a pro wrestler, which is another real-life job that I had. But each and every one of you are the only thing that's ever really made sense to me. Being a pro wrestling journalist, times throughout my career, I've chosen to forget. Even being a vampire slayer, I've chosen to forget. But each and every one of you helped me make sense of life, helped me make sense of things that I necessarily couldn't, and because of that, you're smarter than what I am. The Descendants and Zombies fans know what they want, and they are not afraid to say how they feel about the franchise, the direction it's heading in, what they want to get out of it, and I respect you so much for that. I have so much respect for each and every single person who probably said they were a fan of the Descendants and Zombies. This franchise saved my life, and I am here because of each and every one of you. You pulled me from out of obscurity. And to be honest with you, obscurity to be caught up within is a very scary place. But you became my light in the darkness, and for that, I know that the Descendants and Zombies universe is eternal. I don't care what anybody else says on YouTube, but Descendants and Zombies, Clarke and Dove Cameron, beautiful girls. Beautiful girls with bright futures. And this whole franchise is going to last eternally in all of our hearts. And if we're going to die, well, we might as well die together because there's no better way to die. There's no better way to go down in history for having been some of the greatest Descendants and Zombies fans in the world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know where all the girls are that I was ever in relationships with. They obviously didn't care about the show, but each and every one of you cared about how I was a vampire slayer, probably thought it was cool. Each and every one of you thought about how I was the biggest Descendants of Zombies fan in the world, thought it was cool. Everybody thought me being a pro wrestler was cool, and you hit the subscribe button. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for tolerating me and putting up with me. So here's the situation. I have 2,711 subscribers. I would love to have 3,000. I would love to have 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers. I want you to know I'd love for you to be a part of this community because this community is beautiful. This community is gorgeous. And I would love for you to be a part of this community. And I would love for you to stay here forever and help me promote Descendants of Zombies the way it was supposed to be promoted, while I vampire slay and aspire to be the greatest pro wrestler of all time. I will go down in history for having been one of the greatest of all time, but I need you to do it. And what I mean by that is I need you to hit the subscribe button to secure the future of me and secure that I will go down in history for having been one of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest of all time with you and because of you. I will never forget you guys. Thank you so much for having made me the voice of Descendants of Zombies. With that having been said, I've got this great Quality Control interview. I want to watch this with you before the Descendants fans kick my ass for having talked about zombies as much as what I have. And what do you say we watch this video together?
Can we talk about what it's like to be raised in a dance house? Because it is different. Your mom's a crazy professional dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
No,
it's so cool.
It's also like a different level of like regimen and like dedication and consistency. And like,
it is.
dude, people don't get it. Like to be a great dancer.
Oh my God. It's the most cutthroat industry,
Yeah,
I think.
It takes a lot of work.
The toughest people I know. And, you know, I think the things you have to go through as a dancer are just unreal. First of all, it's like so taxing on your body, but also it's very humbling because like if you're not the best in the class, you're pushed to the back. Like it's as simple as that. It's very black and white. And dance teachers are so hard on you. I think it is like, I anytime I meet a dancer, I feel like we speak the same language because it's like, oh, I get what you went through. Like also like the competition life of, you know, I remember my mom literally like bedazzling my outfits and having to put rhinestone by rhinestone on my tutus. And, you know, all the moms did that on our dance team. They were all like so involved. And it just takes so much driving to Vegas to do these competitions and driving back and driving to Palm Springs. And, you know, my mom having to do these little bun mohawks that they would always make us do. And I'd be crying when she's doing my hair because it'd be so tight because she didn't want it to move when I was dancing on stage and hairspraying the crap out of it and all the bobby pins. It was intense, but I think just like that level of being in the studio every day, like 6 hours a day as a 7-year-old kid and doing that for years, like it just has made my skin that much tougher. And I think that's the reason that I'm able to function under, you know, in this system of Disney and working long hours on set. Like I think that transition was easier for me because of the fact that I was so used to just grinding at such a young age and being put under, you know, just that crazy level of just scrutiny and also, you know, the hours you put in and just how hard it is on your body. I think dancers are the toughest. I'm so grateful that that was my foundation. I think it's helped me so much.
So I think after some technical difficulties this morning, power has been restored in my home, so I should be able to produce at least one more video for you at some point today. I don't know when that video will come out, but as soon as I have it developed and produced, I will upload it to the YouTube channel. So this is how this YouTube channel works. This YouTube channel was created for you. It is about what you want to talk about, and obviously it's the niche of Descendants of Zombies and how incredibly supportive each and every one of you have become of it, and I have become of it because of different things that I have encountered in my life. I hope each and every one of you love this YouTube channel so much. Speaking about Kylie Cantrell growing up in a dance house where her mom was a professional dancer, I have so much respect for the girls on this YouTube channel who have subscribed, who are professional dancers, because of the pressure that goes with that, and how your dance instructors want the best out of you. When sometimes you don't feel as if you can offer them the best, they put you under so much pressure, telling you what you can do, what you can't do, what you can eat, what you can't eat, how you have to train. There's a lot of pressure that goes with that. I know that because I've witnessed it, and I've had a hand in a lot of dance productions over the years. We just haven't got to tell anybody that. My heart goes out to each and every one of you. And my heart goes out to each and every single person who ever said they were a fan of Descendants of Zombies. I'm really happy you're here. For the life of me, I don't know how you're finding these videos, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me to have been the song in your heart for quite some time now, and hopefully for the rest of eternity. I love you all so much. I will be back later on today with another video. I will drop at some point between now and the next 24 hours, so watch for that to drop. Watch for the thumbnail. Thank you guys so much. What do you say we go spread some kindness to someone who is looking for that little bit of extra kindness in their life today? Be kind to one another. Bye, YouTube. We will do this again in a couple of hours.